What's going on, guys? Today with the trade that went down yesterday with the Colorado Avalanche signing Alex Newhook to the Montreal Canadiens for a first and second round pick. They also got back Gianni Fairbrother, who I think is just like an okay defensive prospect. So the first round pick was actually the Florida first round pick, which could be 31st in the draft, almost a second. In game though, I see it's got as much value almost as Montreal, which kind of crazy. Then they get the 2023 Montreal second. Honestly, it doesn't even add up to like Montreal, their status, team seller. What is Florida's team status? Conservative buyer. So yeah, I don't know how their first round pick has almost the same value, but that's what it is in the game. That's what we got to go with. On top of the picks too, guys, like I mentioned, they get back Fairbrother. I think he plays first season in the AHL this year. 21 years old, 70 overall, medium top 6 potential. Third round pick, 2019, playing the WHL. Again, he's just like a decent defensive prospect, nothing crazy. And then Montreal gets back Alex Newhook. I really like this trade for Montreal. I feel like they still have the 5th overall pick in the draft. Use your late first to get Alex Newhook. The prospect you were drafting is almost certainly not going to be as good as Newhook, especially right now. Like, Newhook's already a lot more developed. He's got some NHL experience. You guys can see here, 21 years old, 82 overall, high top 6 potential, a few X factors, 16th overall pick back in 2019. I really like his age too. I feel like he's going to fit in that core perfectly with Suzuki, with Caulfield. Of course, on the back end, they got Caden Gooley, they got Lane Hudson coming. So Montreal, I think, is, building something nice. You guys can see here, Montreal likes Newhook. Doesn't have the picks though, or Fairbrother on the block. The value's also at least double on Montreal's side. Trade difficulty here is medium, so this is a guaranteed no. And yeah, trade's rejected. And now one thing I found kind of funny, guys, after this trade happened, a bunch of people actually liked the trade for the Avalanche. As I said, they now have like draft capital to work with. They can flip those picks for other players. And obviously picks are a lot easier to trade than players because Newhook needs an extension. Only, so many teams are going to sign him, whatever it is, or have a spot for him on their team. Whereas draft picks are like the easiest thing to trade in existence. And literally less than 24 hours later, they flipped the Montreal second round pick to the Tampa Bay Lightning to get Ross Colton. So a lot of people knew Ross Colton probably wasn't going to get re-signed. The Lightning just simply don't have the cap space. As well, too, I think, he's a pretty good player, but he gets limited ice time with the Tampa Bay Lightning. So on a team with a bit more ice time, Avalanche, of course, don't have Landeskog this year, he could have that opportunity in their top 6. So in game here, 26 years old, 81 overall, medium top 6 potential. A sniper. He's actually got a pretty good shot on him. Again, pretty good offensive player, not bad defensively, pretty solid physically as well. Kind of like, a perfect third liner or low-end second liner on a team that doesn't have a lot of depth. So Ross Colton there for second round pick. Second round pick actually has more value. So in game, EA feels like Avalanche won the Alex Newhook trade. But looks like they're losing the Ross Colton trade. I assume Tampa Bay says yes. And they do. Alright, guys, so after those two trades, here's what the Avalanche lines might look like for next season. You got to remember, too, Gabe Landeskog's out for the entire 2023-2024 year. Because of that, top 6 definitely takes a hit. We got Lehkonen and McKinnon, Rantanen on line 1. Nichushkin, Johansson, Colton second line. I got Nieto there with Foodie and O'Connor. I feel like, Foodie might plug into that third line center spot. Nieto as well as a pending UFA, so he might not be back. Maltz there on the 4th line with Eller, Malgin. Eller as well as a pending UFA. I've also got it scratched here. Cogdiano, Helm, they're veterans, so they could probably bring them back cheap, but they're also, going to be 36 years old. They might choose not to. And in regards to JT Comfort, Evan Rodriguez, I think both those guys as good as gone. Probably going to get paid to go somewhere else. Defensively, we got Taves McCarson on the top pair, Josh Manson, Bowen Byram, Sam Legerard, Eric Johnson. Johnson as well as pending UFA, but I feel he'll probably stay in Colorado and, take a big discount from the $6 million he was making. Yorgi there starting still, Frank who's backing him up. So, I mean, overall, I think, the team should be okay. Again, losing Landeskog, that's a huge hit to this team. So we'll see if they do make any other moves. If you guys are curious as well, I've added Johansson to the team. That was a kind of funny trade. Nashville essentially just gave him away. I prefer to do that than buying him out. So right there, you guys can see Ryan Johansson as a member of the Avalanche. And next, you guys, you can see Ross Colton on the Avalanche. I'm not sure what his game face. Yeah, he doesn't really have one. So like I was saying, I really don't feel like the Avs are done. I think they're definitely going to bring in at least one more forward. Maybe trade one of their defensemen to do that. Next year, though, guys, we're going to try this trade from Montreal's perspective. All right, guys, next year we're trying this trade from Montreal's perspective. Newhook there isn't on the block. Nor does Colorado want the picks or Fairbrother. I actually wanted to show you guys. I totally forgot, but I remember one video I asked you. You guys said Lane Hudson's got to be immediately potential now, so there you go. Has him as the most valuable defenseman on Montreal, which I think makes a lot of sense. So the Avs, even though Newhook isn't on the block, the value's way on our side. I feel like they got to say yes. And they do. Alright, guys, so after that trade, here's what the Montreal Canadiens lines could look like next season. I've got Caulfield, Suzuki, Doc on the first line, Savkovsky back healthy, playing with Dvorak and Newhook on the second line. I feel like if they're giving up all that draft capital for Newhook, they definitely got to put him in the top 6 role. Anderson, Evans, Gallagher, third line, with Gurianov, Monahan, Hoffman on the 4th. So looking at their team, they got a lot of forward depth. Like Hoffman's not a 4th liner, and neither is Gurianov really. So I wonder if either of those guys, maybe both, will get traded. Because on top of them, they got Harvey Pinard, who played, pretty well at the end of last season. Ron Pitlick there can be in your bomb 6. Joel Armia as well. So curious to see what they do. I feel like they're definitely not done. Defensively here, this is where they need some work. Matheson, Savard, Gooley, Evanson, Harris, Jack guy. Like, D is not the best. Goaltending isn't too bad. Allen, Montembeault, but like I said, they got too many forwards. Defense isn't good enough. So I think honestly they could be a really good fit to make a trade with the Colorado Avalanche. Maybe trade. I don't really know who would be. Josh Anderson for Samuel Girard, something like that. Montreal needs D. Avalanche needs some more forwards. I'm going to give you guys your first look here at Alex Newhook as a member of the Montreal Canadiens. So right there, you guys can see him. I don't know, does he have a game face? It's not terrible, but Newhook 18 in the red, white, and blue. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. Let me know in the comment section which team you think won the trade. Personally, I would say Montreal originally won it, but then after seeing the Avs flip that second for Ross Colton, and they still have that first round pick to work with, I honestly feel like it's a pretty fair deal. But I'd love to hear from you guys. As always, if you enjoyed this one, leave that thumbs up. Thanks so much for watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.